Continuing to read with our Home of the Brave by Catherine Applegate. Last time I made a video, we learned about the washing machine incident and how he put the dishes in the washing machine because he thought that's what washing machines were for. So it's kind of going to be interesting from here on out to see all the things that Keck does that were like, no, that's not what that's for, what that means. But I also am interested in how Keck is going to fix this problem because we know looking at Keck and his personality that he likes to fix things. So pay attention to kind of where our story develops and where it goes into Keck's real personality and how he justifies some of his actions. So, Home of the Brave. Here we go. Magic milk. What's magic milk? I have a guess. Do you have a guess about what magic milk could be? Let's see if you're right. I carry the broken pieces in my basket and follow Hannah to her apartment. She has a key like mine around her neck on a string. Hannah's place of living is not like my aunt's. It smells of many things, some not so good. Everywhere are clothes and shoes, papers and dirty dishes. Sorry, it's a dump, I know. Hannah sighs. My last foster parents were total neat freaks. So this kind of gives us a clue into Hannah's life that this isn't her first foster home that she's had to live in. Do you have brothers or sisters, I ask? 3 older, 1 boy, 2 girls, all foster. My brother's working at Burger King right now. Don't know what my sisters are up to. My real brother lives with another family in St. Paul. Again, kind of goes back to that social issue with families. So we know that Hannah has brothers and sisters, but she doesn't get to live with them because they're all in different foster families. Hannah begins opening drawers in the cooking fire room. I know we've got some glue somewhere, she says. Magic milk, glue. Are we talking about the same thing? Forgive me, I say, but I don't know what a foster is. Foster family. You stay with them when your real family is messed up. My mom's in rehab, and my dad, well, he hasn't been around since I was a baby. She pauses. Sorry, sometimes I forget it's hard to understand me sometimes. Rehab is where you go if you do too much alcohol or drugs. I have seen men in our village drink until they fall down and laugh too loudly, I offer. Hannah nods. Yeah, like that. Your mother will be well soon? I doubt it, she says. She looks at me. Her eyes are wet, just a little. You can't be sure what will happen, I say. Life changes, so you must have hope. Ooh. Are those words that we can use now in the situation that we're in? That we have to have hope because life changes? I want so much to believe my words. Hannah doesn't answer. She opens the tall, cold box. Want some chocolate milk? I know about chocolate. At the camp, a helping doctor gave me a small piece to try. This is what laughing tastes like, I told her. I would like the milk very much, I say to Hannah. I watch while she pours wondrous brown milk from a tall, thin box. In the camp, people told me America was a great country, I say. But I never dreamed you have cows that give such milk. Okay, come on now. You think that there's cows that give chocolate milk? We wish. Hannah groans. That's the world's oldest joke, she says. But I don't understand her meaning. Where did you find this milk? I ask. Grocery store. I'll take you sometime. I take the bus there a lot. The yellow school bus? Nope, she shakes her head. City bus. I sigh. I'll never know all the things there are to know. Can you just imagine? So many unknowns. Hannah tilts her head to one side. Don't worry, it'll get easier. I'll help you. How come you are so helping to me? I ask. Hannah thinks for a minute. I don't know. Guess I've moved around a lot myself. Not like you, but I kind of know what it's like to not know things. We can kind of relate to them too, make that connection because we kind of are again in that situation where we kind of don't know things either. She clinks her glass against mine. Here's to crazy glue. I don't understand those words either, but I don't care. My mouth is too busy rejoicing. So, when we started, the name of the chapter was Magic Milk. So, one, we can kind of infer, well, maybe the glue, because it's kind of like that. That's what we first thought. But then our ideas changed as the chapter went on and realized that we're not talking about glue being the magic milk. We're talking about, ding, 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 the chocolate being the magic milk, and that he is probably never had chocolate milk before. So, again, there's lots of things that we take for granted that other people don't get the chance to have. So, he thinks it's magic that there's chocolate milk instead of just white milk. Wet feet. Even the wonder of crazy glue can't turn my aunt's dishes into their old selves. The next morning, I tell my aunt of my great mistake. She makes her lips into a line and closes her eyes, but she doesn't say a word. Can you imagine what his aunt's face looks like? I'm kind of thinking sometimes when I get frustrated and I'm like, I would like it better if she could find her mad voice. Back in Africa, she and my uncle would argue so fiercely that their hut trembled. The cattle are stampeding again, the villagers would joke. But now I think maybe she's too tired to yell. When Dave comes to visit in the afternoon, I tell him about the broken dishes. He just laughs. That's nothing, he says. I once had a client who tried to wash his clothes in the toilet. This doesn't sound like such a wrong idea to me, but I decide to hide my thinking. Instead, I say, I must get a job, Dave, like my aunt, so that I can buy her new dishes. Talking about Keck's character, how was he going to remedy the situation? So now he wants to get a job so that he can make up for his mistake. Hold on, he says. We'll see about that soon enough. You just got here, Keck. You need some time to get your feet wet. I check my shoes. It's true enough that they are dry. That's called an idiom, Dave explains. Figurative language. We've talked about metaphors and similes, and now we've talked a lot about these idioms within this book. And we're going to do a lesson on idioms on our online learning when we get to that point. So remember that word, idiom, I-D-I-O-M. You're going to run into a lot of those. It means get some experience. Dave turns to Ganwar, who's sprawled on the couch like a dozing dog. Actually, I've been meaning to talk to you about a job, buddy. There are some openings at a couple fast food places on the bus line. Ganwar groans. He doesn't bother to open his eyes. I didn't come to this country to sweep the floors, he mutters. You gotta start somewhere, Dave says, and your mom needs some help with the bills. You're the man of the family now. A man doesn't wear a paper hat and give out ketchup packets, Ganwar replies. Ketchup is a fine food, isn't it? I offer, but Ganwar ignores me. Don't be intimidated, Ganwar, Dave says. They'll teach you the skills you need. I have many skills, Ganwar says. Even with one hand, his words spark like lightning. Ganwar is a great herdsman, I say. He was one of the best in our village. We'll talk about this later, Ganwar, Dave says. I follow Dave to the door. I want to ask him something, but I'm afraid he will say no. I take a deep breath. Do you remember the cow we saw that day? I ask. I would like to go back and visit her again. Gee, I can't today, Keck, Dave says, but maybe next week. He did not say no, I realize, so I try again, just like I would have with my own father. Sometimes if you ask fathers, turn maybe into yes. How many of you have asked your parents time and time again and they're like, oh, maybe, Oh, maybe. And then finally, after you're done asking, you've asked several times, they're like, fine, we'll do it. Yes. I know my kids do that with me, and I kind of do that with my husband too. But only sometimes. Maybe I could take the bus. My new friend Hannah takes the bus to many places, I say. She could come with me. Dave thinks for a moment. He takes a little piece of paper and a pen out of his coat pocket and writes some words. This is where the farm is, but don't try going without a friend to help you, okay? Okay, I say, and I put the paper in the pocket of my jeans. Give her a pat for me, buddy, Dave says as he opens the door. I think he is just being kind, since I'm certain he is not a great lover of cows. I wave goodbye and smile to myself with the secret comfort of a big idea. What do you think his big idea is? What do you think he's going to do? I want you to think about that. Think about what his big idea is. Think about the dishes. Think about him wanting to repay his aunt. Think about his love of cows. And think about what his big idea is.